Okay, sorry about that, you guys. My video stopped for some reason. Okay, so Mr. Mallard, what does he do? Well, at the beginning of the story, he is helping Mrs. Mallard find a perfect home for their family, right? So I would say that Mr. Mallard is caring. He cares. He cares about his family. He's helping Mrs. Mallard find the perfect spot for their home. He cares about Mrs. Mallard and he cares about his kids, right? So he's caring. How else could I describe Mr. Mallard? He also, we could say that he is brave. I think Mr. Mallard is brave because when he goes by himself to go explore the rest of the river. Remember that? He leaves his family to go on a little mission by himself to explore the river. So I'll say that he is brave because of that. Okay. He also, let's see, what's one more? I could also say that Mr. Mallard is I'm trying to think of something that's not caring or like caring. I could also say that Mr. Mallard, this is kind of like caring, but I'll say loves. Or no, you know what I can say? I can say that Mr. Mallard is trustworthy. I think Mr. Mallard is trustworthy because Mrs. Mallard knows that when he says he's going to be back at that garden, or where were they going to meet? I think it was at a garden, in a week, that he was really going to be there. He was not just going to leave her with the rest of the family. He was going to meet them back there. So I think that Mr. Mallard is trustworthy. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull out this paper, and now I can write about how Mr. Mallard, how I could describe his character. I'm just going to write about one of these things. I could say that he's caring, I could say that he's brave, or I could say that he is trustworthy. I forgot my pen. 1 second. Let me go grab it. All right, so I'm going to write Mr. Mallard. You're not doing this with me yet, okay? Just watch. Mr. Mallard is, I think I'll write about him being brave. Mr. Mallard is brave because he explores the river by himself. Mr. Mallard is brave because he explores the river by himself. Now I could draw a picture of Mr. Mallard. Floating down the river. And maybe his family, Mrs. Mallard, and the babies are over here watching him go. Okay? So I want you to pick a different character, not Mr. Mallard. Remember, we also had Mrs. Mallard up here, and Michael, the police officer, and the ducklings. The ducklings might be a little bit hard to write about because they don't really say a whole lot. So maybe pick one of the other two characters, Mrs. Mallard or Michael, the police officer, to write about. And I want you to think about what do they do in the story and what does that mean about them, right? Mr. Mallard goes and explores the river. That means he's brave.